All right, now let's get to the student profiles. In the next few slides, I want to introduce you to 4 students, different states, different schools, different majors, completely different starting points. One thing in common between them is that they build their profiles with intention. And I want to show you what that actually looks like. So the first one, Sophia, Texas public school student, elite artistic swimmer with international medals, strong STEM and humanities interests. On paper, very impressive. But when her family first mapped out her profile, what was missing was a narrative. The athletics and the research interests and the animal nonprofit all existed in separate silos. There was no through line. And here's what changed. We identified a threat, neuroscience, behavior, and mental health impact. Every subsequent decision built on that threat. The AI-based neuroscience project for opiate prevention, the published writing on healthcare, the research on mental health outcomes, each piece reinforced the same identity. The result was she got into Northwestern and other schools as well, studying cognitive sciences. So Sophia's lesson here is athletic excellence is impressive. Athletic excellence plus published research plus a nonprofit plus a neuroscience project, all pointing at the same identity, that is a narrative. And the one sentence that described her is mental health researcher and elite athlete exploring neuroscience and clinical impact. Now, profile 2, Maya, competitive public school in San Francisco, top of her class, SAT 1560. The academic profile was exceptional. But when she came to us, her activities felt like a highlight reel with no story. The Leprosy Village Initiative in one corner, the DECA president in another corner, a policy writing award somewhere else. Impressive individually, but disconnected as a whole. So the transformation is we found the thread together, policy, economics, inequality. That thread ran through every single thing she had done. And once we named it, everything reorganized around it. Published microfinance research, voter activation internship, DECA curriculum development, national policy writing award. All of a sudden, the admissions officer could read her file and described her in one sentence and remember this person. She got into Yale, their prestigious ethics, politics, and economics program. Maya's lesson is breadth of interest is not weakness if you can find a thread. The thread was always there. She just needed someone to help her see it, just like many other students. Now, this third admitted student profile, Lucas, he was a regular suburban public school student in New Jersey, a strong coder with a biology interest. He had projects, but nothing validated outside the classroom. No nonprofit, no leadership story, no real-world proof of impact. What changed was I pushed him to take his work into the world. He built a web app analyzing genetic mutation data and then critically partnered with a local hospital to test it on a real data set. He interned at a biotech startup and built something real users touched, real users used. He founded a nonprofit, AI for Health, focused on diagnostic tools for underserved clinics, multiple hackathon wins in health tech. By the time he applied, he wasn't a strong student who coded. He was a translational scientist and a founder. He got into MIT studying biomedical engineering. Lucas' lesson is MIT doesn't admit coders. They don't admit just technology enthusiasts. They admit builders. The work was always in him, but it just needed to touch the real world. All right. Now, before we look over another student profile and Q&A, I want to pause here for just a moment. I want to take this opportunity to share something with you. If you've been watching this webinar and thinking, I want more than just information. I want someone in my corner through this whole process. Then this next few minutes is for you. What I'm introducing today is an option for families who want a more structured, guided approach from start to finish without the 5-figure price tag that most private consultants charge. And I want to address that directly because I know what's out there. There are consultants charging 5 figures for private admissions support, and maybe that's right for some families, but this is not what this is. I built this program specifically because I wanted something that was genuinely comprehensive and genuinely affordable. And I think what I've put together here delivers more structure and more touch points than many high-ticket programs anyway. So let me show you how it works. What I've done is I organized the entire admissions journey into 4 phases. And the reason I love this framework is that at any point in the process, you and your student know exactly where you are and what comes next. There's no guessing, no, wait, should we be doing something right now? You follow the phases. Phase 1 is clarity and strategy. And this happens in the first couple of weeks after you enroll. This is where we start with a 1-hour one-on-one call with me personally, you, your student, and me. I've had sessions where the whole family came and it's completely fine. We're going to map out your student's unique positioning angle, figure out which essay directions are going to serve them best, and build a school list strategy together. By the end of that call, your student will have a personal narrative blueprint, their specific story angle, their essay direction, and a prioritized school list. That's their roadmap for everything that follows. Now, phase 2 then is content production. This is where your student does the work, but they're not doing it alone. They get full access to my essay writing course, which walks them through the entire drafting process step by step. I have a couple of essay writing books on my website. This is not that. This is a full course with lessons and feedback from me, but it can be taken at their own pace. They also get access to the SAT Boost app if scores are still in progress. And every month I drop a recorded webinar on a timely admissions topic similar to this one. It can be anywhere from early decision strategy, how to handle a wait list, financial aid appeals. So they're always getting relevant current guidance on demand. Phase 3 is polish and review. Once they have drafts, I come back in, they get 5 essay reviews from me. I give them detailed and directed feedback. And I want to be transparent about how I approach this. I don't rewrite essays for students. Admissions officers are sophisticated readers, and an essay that sounds like it was written by an adult is actually a liability. What I do is I help them find and sharpen their real story in their own voice. That's what gets people in. They also get 1 full application review where I look at everything holistically before they submit. And phase 4 is decision and advocacy. This is where I'm with you through the end. Waitlist, I'll help you craft an appeal, financial aid package, not what you expected. There's a playbook for that. And throughout all 4 phases, you have full access to my library of over 20 books and courses and guides. And I will be adding at least 1 new one every month. The other thing I'll say about this program is, and this is important, is that is a one-time payment for lifetime access to me. College admissions is a 1 to 2 year process for most families. You don't need a subscription. You pay once, you're covered for the full cycle and beyond. Even if they have questions once they get to college, my door will always be opened. So let me show you what's inside and show you what you're actually getting here. When you enroll in my inner circle, you get the 1-hour strategy call directly with me. You get my full essay writing course, the 5 essay reviews, 1 complete application review, monthly invite-only webinars, SAT Boost app access, my full resource library with dozens of books and courses with new ones added continuously, and priority email access to me throughout the process. If you went out and tried to buy all of this separately, you'll be looking at over $4,000. Now, I'm not going to tell you the price right now on this webinar because I want you to actually see the full enrollment page where everything is laid out clearly. So head to the link where I'll put in the chat, and you'll see the current investment and any bonuses that are active right now. What I will tell you is this: if you enroll within 5 days of watching this webinar, you're going to get an extra promotion off of the enrollment price. That's my founding member rate for people who decide to trust me. And it's the best price this program will ever be offered at. After 5 days, that discount goes away. And one more thing, I know this matters to a lot of you. There's no sales call. You don't have to get on the phone with me to enroll. You read the page, you decide, you click on the button. I build it that way intentionally because I respect your time. And honestly, if the program is right for you, the page will tell you everything that you need to know. And one last thing I will mention before we get back to the last student profile and Q&A is that I want to be transparent about this. I hosted this webinar exactly a month ago and opened enrollment to our first cohort of students joining Jenny's Inner Circle. And these families have already given me some feedback, which I would love to share with you on this next slide. Here are just a few screenshots of emails I got from these parents. Jenny helped us position our daughter in a way that felt both authentic and highly effective, grounded in a true understanding of how the admissions process actually works. She is genuinely invested in her students. I didn't realize how much pressure I had been feeling trying to navigate the next few months until the sense of relief I felt after signing up. There was one student who got waitlisted at a prestigious medical summer program at Stanford. I gave her family some tips on how to get off the waitlist, and then her dad emailed me and let me know that his daughter actually got admitted to the program after following my advice. So I'm not going to keep reading these to praise myself, but if you're on the fence and you've never met me, I just want to give you some confidence that I really do care about the students and families I work with. We had a great first cohort. If you missed the opportunity to join that, this month I'm opening up 10 more spots, and when we hit that cap, enrollment closes, because this is not a course where I sign up unlimited students and disappear. Parts of this program require direct access to me, the strategy call, the essay reviews, the email support. So the quality only holds if I can actually deliver on those things. So when we hit the cap, enrollment closes. I don't know exactly when that will be, but if you're watching this and spots are still available, that's the window. So head to the link, take a look, and if you have any questions, you can always email me directly. Now let's get back to the last student profile. Meet Jade, specialized public high school in New York City, strong writer, creative thinker, journalism activities, and a genuine passion for amplifying underrepresented voices. But when we looked at her profile initially, honestly, what was missing was a platform, an audience, and a body of work that lived outside her school. The transformation was she built one, a podcast and documentary series documenting immigrant community stories. And she grew it to have 10,000 listeners, a full-length documentary screened at a local film festival, published long-form essays in regional and national outlets, a nonprofit storytelling campaign. Not just a writer, a journalist with a platform, an audience, and a documented social mission. She got into Columbia studying sociology and journalism. Jay's lesson is 10,000 listeners is a number. A screened documentary is a credential. She didn't just write, she built something real. And that is the kind of journalism Columbia wants, shaping the next generation.